Hello, boys and girls. Today, your lesson is readers become experts by talking the talk of their books. So, what that means is when you see a special topic specific word in your books, you're going to go out of your way to have a conversation about it. And you're going to do this whether you know what that word means or not. Maybe you're going to use context clues and figure out what the word means by using the sentences that are already in your books or using the pictures or a graph or whatever may be in your book. Or maybe you don't know what the word means, and that's when you can ask your partner what it means. And if your partner doesn't know what it means, then someone can use a dictionary or a phone or something to look up that word. Um, Also, remember to keep writing things down on post-it notes, write down details. You can talk about the setting, what the characters' emotions are, anything. Um, Last time we were starting to read The Fire Cat, and the cat became the Fire Cat. And today, our chapter is going to be called, take a wild guess, The Fire Cat. So, all about the Fire Cat today. The Fire Cat. Joe took Pickles to the chief, who was sitting at his desk. So, that might be a word I talk to my partner about, chief. Who is the chief? Then I'm going to look at my picture, I'm going to figure out what that word means and talk to my partner about that word. Oh, said the chief, I know this young cat. He is the one who chases little cats. How do you know? Asked Joe. The chief answered, a fire chief knows many things. Just then, the telephone began to ring. Hello, said the chief. Oh, hello, Mrs. Goodkind. Yes, Pickles is here. He came with Joe. What did you say? You think Pickles would like to live in our firehouse? Well, we shall see. Thank you, Mrs. Goodkind. Goodbye. I still really like that name, Goodkind. Can't get really better than being good and kind at the same time. The chief looked at Pickles and said, Mrs. Goodkind says you are not a bad cat, and Joe likes you. I will let you live here, if you will learn to be a good firehouse cat. Pickles walked quietly up the stairs after Joe. Joe and Pickles went into a room where the firemen lived. The men were pleased to have a cat. They wanted to play with Pickles, but suddenly the fire bell rang. Now, we probably can figure out what a fire bell is, or we probably already know what a fire bell is, but it is specific to what we're doing right now in our text, so I would probably stop there and talk to my partner about a fire bell. What it would sound like. Is it super loud? Is it very quiet? Does it go off at a certain time, like 1 o'clock every day, or is it only going off in case of emergencies? Different things like that. All the firemen ran to a big pole, and down they went. That's something else. If we know anything about firefighters, we probably know about the fire pole, but it's something that doesn't happen normally in life, so that's something I'd probably talk to my partner about as well. The pole was the fast way to get to their trucks. Pickles could hear the trucks start up and rush off to the fire. Pickles said to himself, I must learn to do what the firemen do. I must learn to slide down the pole. He jumped and put his paws around the pole. Down he fell with a bump. He must have fallen really hard because it says bump in all capital letters. Poor Pickles. Bumps or no bumps, I must try again, said Pickles. Up the stairs he ran, down the pole he came, and bumped. He tried again, and bumped. But by the time the firemen came back from the fire, Pickles could slide down the pole. What a wonderful cat you are, said the fireman. The chief did not say anything. Ooh. So that might be something else I talk to my partner about just because it's interesting. Why did the chief not say anything? Pickles just worked so hard. He bumped and bumped and bumped. He kept bumping himself going down this pole. But the chief didn't say anything. He wasn't very impressed, so we'll have to see why. That's something I'll probably talk to my partner about. Pickles said to himself, I must keep on learning everything I can. So he learned to jump up on one of the big trucks. And he learned to sit up straight on the seat while the truck raced to a fire. What a wonderful cat you are, said the fireman. The chief did not say anything. Still curious about that. I'd probably bring it up again. Why is the chief not saying anything? Pickles said to himself, "Now I must learn to help the firemen with their work." At the next fire, he jumped down from the truck. He ran to the big hose, put his paws around it, and tried to help a fireman shoot the water at the flames. "What a wonderful cat you are," said the fireman. The chief did not say anything. Man, what does Pickles have to do? He's helping all he can. The next day, the chief called all the firemen to his desk. Then he called for Pickles. Pickles did not know what was going to happen. He said to himself, "Maybe the chief does not like the way I work. Maybe he wants to send me back to my old yard." But Pickles went to the chief. At the chief's desk stood all the firemen and Mrs. Goodkind. So why do you think all of the firemen are there? They look like they're dressed up fancy. Mrs. Goodkind is there. It looks like the chief is actually smiling too. Why don't we make a quick prediction and guess what's going to happen next? All right. The chief said to Pickles, "I have asked Mrs. Goodkind to come because she was your first friend. Pickles, jump up on my desk. I have something to say to you." Pickles jumped up on the desk and looked at the chief. Out of the desk, the chief took a little fire hat. "Pickles," said the chief, "I have watched you at your work. You have worked hard. The time has come for you to know that you are now our fire cat." And with these words, the chief put a little hat on Pickles' head. So he earned his hat by doing all of that and impressing the chief and working hard, no matter what. Even when he bumped down the pole and he had to jump up on the truck and off the truck and play with the hose, and not play with the hose, use the hose to put out the fires. He worked really hard and impressed the chief enough that he was given his hat. And that is the end of that chapter. So, just a reminder, while you're reading today, I want you to read with a partner, someone in your family. I want you to talk about words that are specific to the book. Maybe a word that you don't know, maybe a word like in our book, fire bell or fire pole, things that you might know about, but they're specific to this book. That wouldn't be in a book about music. You probably wouldn't see a fire bell or a fire pole. So talk about words that are specific to your book. Talk about them with a partner. And if you don't know what a word means, try to use your context clues. Try to use the pictures. Try to use graphs, whatever may be in your book. Try to use them to figure it out. If not, then that's something you can ask your partner about. And if your partner doesn't know, then you'll have to figure out how to look that word up. All right. Thank you.